G'day peace, my name is Scripps and welcome back to another speed paint. Or should I say welcome back to another... Ow, my hand. I gotta admit, holy goddamn garbage. It's been a long time since I've had this much of a cramped up hand. And I know a cramped up hand is not good when you're drawing, but I wanted to finish this drawing before the end of today, but you know, we'll get into that later. First off, I just want to say welcome back to another Hollow Knight speed paint. It's not necessarily been a while since I've done one of these, but what it has been is it's been quite some time since I decided to do this particular drawing, because yes, this is one of the rare videos or rare speed paints where I actually do some sort of continuation of a drawing I've already done before. So I got a bunch of requests on prior videos to actually complete my 130 or basically all the enemies that I could find in a Hollow Knight drawing, because last time I just did a bunch of sketches because, well, a bunch of sketches, that's already like a tall order when you got that many figures you need to draw, but I wanted to be able to finish it, so that's what I've been doing this evening. I've just absolutely set myself up and I've been grinding away at it, and it's taken a long time. It's taken longer time than I thought it would. You know, I thought I would be able to actually reach my schedule and, you know, maybe be done with the editing and stuff around 9 p.m. But it's, you know, it's about midnight, and I've actually just done the line art for the drawing. I haven't even finished the painting, which I don't even know if I'll be able to finish the painting this day. Maybe it'll have to be a line art exclusive video, but I guess that's up to you guys. I guess you can already see how desperate it became in the end, whether depending on whether or not if there's actually paint or not on the drawing. Oh, and by the way, in case you haven't, then you can actually go back on my channel and watch the original video that I made for this, where I actually drew every single one of the sketches, and it was actually also a memory challenge, so I tried to draw as many enemies that I could remember, like, from memory. So that video might actually be more interesting from like a comedy perspective, because there I actually tried to do all this in real time. I tried to sit and just draw it from memory, while here I'm mostly just copying line art, and then painting them in some ways. Although line art, I will admit, is the harder thing to do, in my opinion. This is more of, like, in the artist field. This isn't much related to Hollow Knight, but more just related to doing artwork and drawing. Line art is probably one of the most, like... It's one of those things, or one of the aspects of doing artwork that feels the most like work. Here I actually had to turn off my YouTube, because I usually like watch YouTube or do something else while I'm drawing. I find that more of an enjoyable process. But here I actually just sat down with my tablet, didn't have anything else on, maybe music a little bit from time to time, but even that I turned off after I got stressed and passed the deadline. So I just sat here and grinded away at it. And I know for a lot of people, especially for senior or veteran artists, this might not seem that bad. But as someone who usually like draws, I know drawing once a day, that's still a lot, but I never really take on like a gigantic drawing session each and every day. It's mostly like in shorter sessions of maybe half an hour or something that I draw. So drawing these longer sessions is a new experience to me, but it was cool. It was actually kind of fun, and I'm pretty happy with the result. I decided to stick, or even like try to emulate some of the Hollow Knight art style by turning off pen pressure as well, which is also weird because I like drawing with pen pressure because that's more sketchy to me, and I personally prefer a more sketchy art style. But for anyone who wants to copy the Hollow Knight art style or do some Hollow Knight artwork or something, and they want to create something that could fit into the universe, then you should probably remember that a very notable thing about Hollow Knight's art style is its very thick outlines. Now, that might not be something that you immediately notice or pay attention to, and it's definitely not anywhere near like as emphasized as it is in my drawing here, but if you pay attention to the gameplay outside of cutscenes, and you focus on like the characters in the foreground, then you'll notice that they do have some very distinct thick outlines that really make the characters pop from the very pretty background art. And for some professional like reviews and stuff, this can actually be kind of a critique, because some people think that like that's a very indie thing, and it makes the game look a little more amateurish, and it definitely makes it seem more like an indie game, and it kind of goes away from that professional quality that you see in, for example, the background art. But I personally like it, and I think a lot of fans like it as well, and they don't think of it as a bad thing at all, because it does also allow the game to have that indie charm that a lot of people like, and that also means the game can take itself less seriously than it needs to be sometimes. If it had this very professional, very professional, extremely thin, highly detailed like line work, then I definitely think for a lot of people it would seem a lot more out of left field when Hollow Knight suddenly would drop the serious act and do something cute or maybe creepy or funny in some way. And it would be less of this whimsical adventure that you would expect to drop the act every now and again, and it would seem more like, you know, if Dark Souls suddenly made a joke or made something weird and stupid, humorous, or maybe even cute. It's much more rare that you get to see that in games like Dark Souls because they take themselves so seriously, not just story-wise, but also just in the quality and when it comes to shape language and stuff. It's just all very detailed, it's all very plain and clean, so you expect the game to take itself seriously. And I'm happy that Hollow Knight didn't head in the exact same direction as Dark Souls, seeing as the game has already taken so much inspiration from Dark Souls. But yeah, after having said that, then I don't really think I have much else to add. I could go on and rant about the different bosses and all the different enemies that I've drawn in this, but I've already kind of done that in the original drawing 130 enemies from Hollow Knight video, so if you're interested in that topic or interested in that rambling, then I recommend that you check it out. I think I uploaded it like 2 weeks ago or something if you go on my channel and like dig a little. Or, you know, I could just post it in either the comments or the descriptions. Check those first, I might have put a link in the description. But seeing as it's almost midnight and I'm not nearly done with editing this video, then, you know, don't blame me if I forget to do that at that point. But despite all the struggles, despite the fact that I'm way over deadline and my hand cramps to the point that, you know, I will probably feel this when I wake up tomorrow and maybe, you know, I'll have to take a little bit of an easy break or go easy on myself when it comes to drawing for the next couple of days, then this was still fun. And I think it's still good practice to sit down and do like actual, not just like actually work hard for longer periods of time and really sit down and finish like just longer projects in like 4 hours or something. Because it's rare that I do that. It always becomes this kind of shallow drawing session with me always focusing and doing something else. Sometimes I even watch like anime or Netflix or something when I'm drawing at the same time, and I never really just sit down and put my whole like being and focus into drawing. And I kind of feel like I did this time around. I'm kind of sad that I didn't get to show you guys how that kind of focus could work creatively, since I was just doing line art this time around. But you know, hopefully I'll get to do that some other time. Maybe when Silksong comes out one day, then I'll be able to do that. Then I'll be able to like start anew and make a drawing where I draw every single character from Silksong, and then put them on like one canvas like this. That could be fun. I want to do this again, so I'll absolutely do that when the game comes out. I'll put that on my list of things to do. But you know, maybe we need to wait for Silksong to get out first, shall we? But anyway, peeps and creeps, I think that was all the time that I had for this video. It was absolutely all the time I had to draw today. So I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.